What's up, YouTube? Long time no talk. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. I think I'm gonna start with. Do I start baseball or do I start? I'll debate it. It'll probably be baseball. Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College, is back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to what else? Here on this lovely, I want to say, I believe it is Thursday afternoon. It is about 3:06 here at Keystone College. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Talks here on Wkcv. As I said, welcoming you guys in the beginning. And guys, as always, I'm your host, JT Galapicho. And guys, as always, this is the last show before spring break. And actually, ironically, in a sense, potentially my last show before spring break again, because you guys got to remember, I'm a senior, man, so everything's winding down, and it hit me yesterday as soon as I turned around and I looked up everything, and I saw that on Moodle I had the graduation thing, and I was like, alright, this is real. And it's awesome, man. It really is, to think that, 4 years, of my life has gone by at this school and everything. And the best thing about it, or the weird thing about it, is that everybody asks me the same question. They're like, what's your plan after school and everything like that? And really, the answer I got is, I don't know. It's wherever everything takes me. You know what I'm saying, man? And so, it's definitely going to be interesting to see where my life takes me, and I've been hinting at a couple of things that I could possibly do over the next couple of years. And honestly, it's like I said, man, whatever happens to me happens, and I'll be happy no matter what. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, let's go ahead, and I do want to talk about one thing real quick. My bad, as I had to do something real quick. But real quick, one thing I do want to talk about real quick, it's kind of something that I got brought up in class today. And it's rare that I bring something up that, is brought up in class and everything like that. I try not to bring up stuff that's in school. But an interesting question was asked, and the question was, how long? It's obvious that a deal is in place and an agreement is in place with Nick Foles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The question was, how long is the deal gonna be? What's the deal gonna be and everything like that? And I was talking to, if you guys don't know, I do have Nevada for a professor, and honestly, we were all talking and everything like that. It was me, it was Sean, it was a couple of guys and everything like that. And we were like, how long is the deal gonna be? Nevada said it was gonna be, 3 years, but pretty much 2 years, but with a team option for the third year and everything like that, depending on how he goes. One guy pretty much, he just asked the question, he was wondering, and I pretty much said I thought it was going to be a 1-year deal at first, but then I thought about it for a second, and obviously Jacksonville likes to go, after guys in potentially the, how can I put it? They like to go after guys in the NFL draft class this year, and one guy that honestly, in my opinion, kind of stood out, because for the life of me, I just don't know if they're going to be going to, to Kyler Murray. Because I know they didn't have the best of selection in the draft rounds and everything like that. I believe they're picking 7th, and there's no way, I don't think that Kyler Murray is going to fall to 7. If he does, I wouldn't even be surprised if they take him. But really, what I actually came around and I thought was, there's a certain quarterback that I think that they're willing to, they'll sign Nick Foles for a year or two, and I think it'd probably be a year, in my opinion, simply because of the fact that, I just don't think that, how can I put it? I just don't think this guy is going to be, he might be there next year, and then the year after that, we're not sure about. He's a sophomore this year. Folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the guy's been to 2 national championships, and he's a sophomore. Or, long story short, it's Tua Viola, and honestly, I think that Tua would make a great fit, but the question is how long are they willing to let him go, if that makes sense? And Like, I think that if they want to turn around and they want to sign they want to sign Foles for a 1-year deal, well, and then next year, if Tua next year, say Tua turns around and says, all right, I've done everything at Bama. I've been to, 1 or 2 national championships. I've been here God knows how long, and I want to go to, I've done everything. Turns around, Tua says, all right, I want to go for the draft. He goes for the draft and everything like that. He has that option. It's not like he doesn't. Or if they wait till he's a senior. Pretty much I think that Jacksonville's just going to sign him until Tua decides to make it out the NFL or go for the draft, I should say. Because you got to remember, Jacksonville's not picking until 7. So, and there are a ton of teams that could use, a quarterback, obviously. I mean, just naming a couple. Arizona, San Francisco, if Jimmy Garoppolo's health. If Jimmy Garoppolo isn't looking healthy. I mean, Raiders, you can make the argument, but Derek Carr are pretty solid. But Tampa Bay, they got Jameis and Ryan Fitzpatrick going. Obviously, the Giants, we already know what the Giants need. And then, like I said, you got Jacksonville. So pretty much, there's 4 teams, 4 to 5 teams, I want to say, that could potentially use a quarterback. But then again, Jameis has been a hit or miss for Tampa Bay, so yeah, he could be. Yeah, and I don't know with the Raiders, but then again, they got John Gruden as a coach, and if Gruden's a coach, then God help us all. But I just don't see it. I really don't see, because Jacksonville, they have everything right. Like, it's not like they don't have a bad team or anything like that. It's just, and I said this all throughout the NFL season, it's not that they have a bad team or anything. I mean, they were going close with a lot of teams. Just, I don't think that Jacksonville is going to turn around and either worry about a quarterback right now, or they're just going to sign Nick Foles, who they're linked to and everything like that. But that's just my opinion, man. That really is. And I couldn't tell you. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're going to sign Foles until Tua gets available, and then that year that Tua's available, they'll be fine with tanking and everything like that, and then they'll either look to trade for the number 1 overall pick, or just see where Tua's projected to go in the draft. So I really do think that, and this is my straight opinion, I really think that, as I said, I think that Tua could definitely make an impact, if you will, if he were to sign with, or if he were to be drafted by Jacksonville. And that's what I'm thinking for Jacksonville, but that's also what I'm thinking as to how long Nick Foles will be signed for. So, again, my opinion, but alright, so gonna go ahead, and guys, if you don't know, we've been doing this pretty much every week, and pretty much gonna continue it this week. We're gonna go ahead, pretty much keep talking about baseball, keep talking about the divisions, break them down division by division, and this week, I turned around and I did Philadelphia last week. I did Philadelphia next week, and NL East last week. And I wanted to do the NL West because Machado signed, but then Harper signed, and I was like, okay, I gotta knock out the NL East first, or simply because Harper signing was in everybody's mind. So, yeah. But nonetheless, it's going to go ahead, hop into everything, and really it's not like it's a bad division or anything like that. Like, that's what everybody's thinking. Everybody's thinking, oh, it's a bad division in a sense, simply because of the fact that, you got Los Angeles, who's been dominant in the division all year. You got Colorado has an unbelievable lineup, but a rotation that can be you know what I'm saying? And then you also got teams like Arizona who have been in the mix over the past couple of years. You got guys like San Francisco who have a team and a rotation and everything, but they've never used their assets, if that makes sense. Like last year they had a team with Longoria, McCutchen and company, and Posey, Belt, Panic, and a bunch of big names, but really didn't do anything. And so, gonna go ahead, break down, pretty much as always, break down everybody's depth chart and everything like that, and kind of just like, and kind of just, break down who I think is gonna be where everybody's going to be and everything like that, as always. So, going to go ahead and we're going to start off with the team that probably made the biggest moves in the offseason. But the question is going to be, can they keep that? They were the worst team in the division last year, and really, it's not that, and I'm going to say this a lot, it's not that the rotation, or it's not that the lineup's bad in a sense or anything. Francisco Mejia, unbelievable prospect. Will Myers and Eric Hosmer are a very good tandem. You could throw Myers in left field probably. Travis Janikowski, Ian Kinsler they just signed, Machado they just signed. And if I didn't just give it away right there with who they just signed and everything like that, as to who they just signed, folks, I'm talking about the Padres. And really, this is the thing that I'm looking at right now. I think they're a fantastic team. I really do. But I want somebody to turn around and tell me, do you trust Kirby Yates as your closer? I get it. The experiment might have worked last year, but I just don't trust him as a closer. He had, last year, he 2.14 ERA with 12 strikeout, or with 12 saves. Give or take, San Diego did, they didn't really, how can I describe it? They didn't really, and again, this is going to be tough to describe. They didn't really have a set closer last year, if that makes sense. But apparently everybody slated, they slated San Diego to be that guy. And the thing with Yates is that last year he pitched 62 games, right? Again, and apparently he got 16 holds and 12 saves, because apparently everybody, they saved it again. But really, you look at this guy, 4.802 ERA over his career. He's been Tampa Bay 2 years, New York a year, Los Angeles a year, San Diego a year, or this will be his second year, I should say, or third year. So really, the question is going to be, who do you go to? It's the pitching that, in my opinion, I think is going to be the weak point for this San Diego squad. I think Joey Wkcv, I think he's going to do fantastic. I really do. But really, Robbie Erlin, Jacob Nix, Luis Perdomo, Eric Lauer, I got to see what they do. And then the bullpen, again, same thing. Craig Stammen, probably the most reliable guy in that bullpen, in my opinion. Matt Strayman, Phil O'Maton, Robert Stock, Jose Castillo, Kirby Yates. Like I said, the three guys I probably would trust in that bullpen: Craig Stammen, Matt Strahm, and Jose Castillo. I'm not trusting Yates, really. Because really, they kind of just, threw him in the back of the bullpen and said, okay, you're the closer, but there's not really a set closer. So, really, if I had to throw a guy back there for the set closer, I'd probably say, Craig Stammen, you're the guy. And again, it's not like this is a bad team or a bad lineup or anything. Francisco Mejia, unbelievable prospect. I think he could probably get the nod for opening day. Either him or Austin Hedges, obviously. Hosmer and Will Myers, obviously going to be competing for that at first base spot. And I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to make Will Myers an everyday player. Ian Kinsler, need I say more? We know what he did with the Tigers. We knew what he did with the Rangers. Manny Machado. A lot of people say that, they signed him to a 10-year deal, and they're saying the Padres are over their head. Are they? Probably. But the question is, with Machado, what do you see with Machado? He has the 5th-year opt-out, which pretty much means, after 5 years, pretty much he signed the 10-year deal. So pretty much after 5 years, he can opt out if he wants. I think if the team's not there in 5 years, then I think he's definitely going to opt out, unless he really has faith. I think he just really wanted to do it so that he was set. That's just me. And then you got Luis Urias at shortstop, Hunter Renfroe, Manuel Margot, and Franmil Reyes, but I think Travis Janikowski might be sneaking in there somewhere. Janikowski. I said that right. Anyway, but I really want to see what this San Diego ball club can do in terms of how can I put it? I just want to see how they do in terms of the rotation and everything like that, because I feel like their pitching is obviously going to be their weak point for San Diego. Yes, they signed Machado and everything like that, but the question is going to be, can they hold? If this makes sense, it's if they can hold that momentum. You know what I'm saying? If they can hold that momentum, great. If they can't, and because you got to remember, NL West is not the easiest division. It's not, by far. All right? Because, again, I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll probably say it throughout my entire show. It's dominated by the Dodgers, who, in my opinion, probably should have... This is just my opinion, and y'all can... you can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I think that the Dodgers probably... He should have... Really, I think that tiebreaker game, that 162 game, or game 163 between the Dodgers and Rockies, I think that game should have been in Colorado, simply because of the fact Colorado was on top of the division for so long. But then again, MLB likes to favor their teams, such as the Dodgers and the teams that really make the money. So, yeah, that's why the game was in Los Angeles. Just saying. Yeah, but no, that's the problem with San Diego. They're in a tough division. Honestly, it's the same thing like in football a lot. Jets, Dolphins, and Bills. Fantastic teams, but unfortunately they're in the AFC East, and that's been dominated by, the Patriots for a while. So, really, that's how you gotta look at it. Alright, now let's talk, speaking of Giants and everything like that, speaking of all these teams with all these talents and everything like that, but in a tough division, team that's been honestly that's been a tough, I want to say, a tough opponent, really, or a team that's won the division a couple of times, but with, in my opinion, a worse team than what they have. Honestly, folks, it's right here. It's San Francisco. It's the Giants. And I don't know what to tell you. I really don't, man. Because it's not like it's a bad team or anything like that. You have, Matt Bum is your ace. Like, that's guaranteed. Nobody argue that it's Suarez, Rodriguez, Samardzija, or Stratton. The only person that could have made an argument for it, probably Cueto when he was on the team, but he's not on the team anymore, apparently. So, I'm just saying on that one. And then it's, and I sometimes didn't necessarily like the Giants simply because of the fact that, they had a couple of guys on the team. Obviously, I didn't necessarily like Posey and everything like that simply because of the fact that I was always, it was confusing with the Giants because they always threw out lineups that you didn't know, and it got you mad sometimes. But that was my personal thing. But now I'm actually, I've actually looked at the rosters and everything, and it's like, okay, this is a team that can actually contend. But nonetheless, pretty much you also got Tony Watson, Sam Dyson, Mark Melancon, Ty Blach, Steven Okret, and Will Smith as your closer. Honestly, that bullpen is not bad. It's not. You got Dyson, who throws in the high hundreds. Isn't obviously, gave up probably one of the most iconic home runs in Blue Jays history. And I'm not even a Blue Jays fan, and I just said that. And then you got Tony Watson, who's got probably some of the most nastiest stuff in Major League Baseball. And Will Smith, who's an absolute lights-out closer, and Mark Melancon, who can turn around and close as well for you. And then you got Posey, who's probably one of the best defensive catchers behind the plate. One of. I didn't say the best. One of. All right? I'm still keeping my opinion on Yadier Molina. I think Yadi's probably the best catcher in baseball, but, I could have that debate. Brandon Bell at first base is an absolute power threat lefty. Joe Panic, Evan Longoria, who in my opinion is probably one of the most underrated guys on this team, and he just got signed there. Brandon Crawford, Chris Shaw, Steven Duggar, and Mac Williamson. Honestly, it's not a bad team. I mean, the infield set, Chris Shaw, pretty good in the outfield. Steven Duggar and Mac Williamson, honestly, got to get some MLB experience. I think they will. And I think that this Giants team can, make an impact. They just got to make the right moves and everything like that. It's not, and in the past they have, but at the same time, not really. So, is it potential that we could see someone like Bumgarner or on the move before the trade deadline? Absolutely. Will it happen? Possibly not. But really, the thing that I'm looking at in terms of the San Francisco Giants team is simply, folks, it's obvious. They got to hold that bullpen down. They got to get run support and everything like that. And they got to turn around. And honestly, I think that the second best pitcher on that team is Jeff Samardzija. Like, I really do. Like, can they get a re-sign? Possibly. Could they go ahead and, like, sign Dallas Keuchel? Absolutely. Do I think they will? Probably not. I think the Giants are fine with rebuilding, in a sense, and keeping a couple of veterans around. But, again, you just got to pay attention to that, in my opinion. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's talk Arizona Diamondbacks. They're in the division last year, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Rockies, except a little bit more out there, if you will. Oh, and the reason I say a little bit more out there is because rotation isn't necessarily set. Okay, and I know I've said that and I'm probably going to say that for everybody except maybe the Dodgers. And that's not me throwing favoritism or anything. That's me honestly being true. Like, the NL West has always been known for home runs. Then again, you play in Colorado. Oh, God knows how many times in the year, and the wind is so good in Colorado. Like, you used to see, like I don't know, and I don't mean to compare it to a video game or anything like that, but if you ever play MLB The Show or anything like that, man, and honestly, the ball carries in Colorado. Obviously, and you gotta remember, mile high air. That's simple. But really, obviously, it's the same thing with the Giants. They got an ace. They got Greinke. And then you got Holland, Archie Bradley. You got Robbie Ray as a solid 2 pitcher. I'll give you that. You got Archie Bradley or Robbie Ray as a solid 2. I will give you that. However, other than that, Zach Goodley, Luke Weaver, Merrill Kelly, I got to see what they can do this year. Because this is not an easy division. This is not a hitter-friendly division. Or a pitcher-friendly division. It really isn't. And, all right, now, they do have... Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give Arizona this. That they have a lineup to match. They got Alex Avila, who's a veteran catcher behind the dish. That, I think, is smart. Avila behind the dish, fantastic. Jake Lamb over at first base, folks, hits righties extremely well. Has pop up, but unfortunately has a hard time getting on base. Wilmer Flores is over at second base. Eduardo Escobar, Nick Ahmed, David Peralta, unbelievable power as well. Ketel Marte, unbelievable speed, who's probably going to be their leadoff guy. And then Steve Souza Jr., or former Ray. Again, this team is very good offensively. And they have 2 solid starters. They just need that 3, 4, and 5 starter, or in my opinion. If they get that 3, 4, 5 starter, I think that they're fine. I think they're perfect. I think they're golden. I really do. Oh, and they've been able to hold in. Like, this is the thing. They've been able to hold up with Colorado, with Los Angeles. Everybody seems to forget 2 years ago, they hosted the NL wildcard game, and I believe they won that. And they actually faced the Dodgers that year. But honestly, last year, 82-80, it's not a bad step down, but at the same time, you don't necessarily have a solid rotation, so you can't really be blaming people on that one. And so, but really, I think that this team definitely did take a step down in terms of a lot of their rotation, a lot of their bullpen, really, because they got TJ McFarland, Andrew Chaffin, and Greg Holland, Matt Andretti, I hope I said that last name right, and Archie Bradley is their closer. So really, I said this before, like, 3 guys I trust in that bullpen, and Greg Holland, Andrew Chaffin, and Archie Bradley. Holland's probably going to be setting up the 8th for Bradley, and, like, even if they want to, they could probably flip that if they want to, because Holland's closed plenty of games where he has plenty good stuff to get it done. And they also have Gerard Dyson coming off the bench, who honestly could be used as a pinch runner in any situation. And so, Alright, then I was debating as to who to do first and then who to do second, simply because of the fact that, it was a game 163 tiebreaker and everything like that. And I was wondering, who do I want to turn around and talk about first? Do I want to talk Dodgers or do I want to talk Rockies? Then I turned around and said, you know what? Let's just do the Rockies. Why do the Rockies? Simply because of the fact that I think this is the team that's going to win the division this year. In my opinion, I think that, and people are going to disagree with this, I think Colorado absolutely got robbed last year. Now, Los Angeles fans, you'll make the same argument. If the game was in Los Angeles, honestly, make the same argument. However, this is the question, and that I got for a lot of people. Should a game 163, a game that's going to decide playoff seeding or something like that, should it be determined in a certain in a home team's ballpark? If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And because, and this is going to be a bad analogy, and I get that. However, you look at some of the college bowls and everything like that. You look at, actually, best example, look at the college playoffs. They're never hosted in Alabama. They're never hosted in Clemson. They're never hosted, at the big house. They're never hosted in the home team's ballpark, if that makes sense. And now, am I saying have these games in, I don't know, I'm not saying have these games hosted in, I'm not saying have these games hosted over in New York at Yankee Stadium. I'm not saying that. I'm saying find a mutual playing field, maybe Arizona. It's halfway. All right, give or take, Arizona obviously is the biggest, one of the bigger rivals. However, just think of it like this. Is both team fan bases would have to travel and everything like that. I get it. You would also have a little bit of rivalry going on and everything like that. But at the same time, Dodger fans and season ticket holders, it'd be a lot easier for them to get there and everything like that. So that's my question. Do you guys really think, a game 163 comes down? Do you think it should be played at a certain home team? Or how do you think that should be in advance? Like I said, I think it should probably be, and hear me out on this. I think, it should be at a mutual playing field. You know what I'm saying? And that's me. That's just me. And another good example, Super Bowl. Super Bowl's played at the, and I know you're comparing one of the biggest sporting events in the world, to, to a MLB playoff game that God knows how long it's going to take. It's only going to take 9 innings to decide a certain playoff seed, and then people will turn around and make the argument then they should do that for the entire playoffs. But that's just me. But nonetheless, as Colorado, honestly, they had a pretty good rotation last year. I'm not going to lie. A lot of names that you didn't really know. John Gray did really well. Herman Marquez, same thing. Kyle Freeland, both teams, all three of those guys very well. And you got Antonio, I'm going to mispronounce his name, my bad. Sensatala, and Tyler Anderson. And honestly, pretty solid rotation. And it really helps out when you have catchers like Chris Iannetta who can hit for pop. You got a guy like Ian Desmond who's unbelievable. Daniel Murphy just signed with the team. I think he's going to do unbelievable with Colorado. Arenado, Story, Dahl, Blackman, and Tapia. I think that this team is going to do, as I said, really well this year. And the bullpen is pretty good too. Sangwon very good pitcher last year for them. They picked him up late. Jake McGee, probably one of the best lefties right now as a reliever in the game. All right, one of. Not the best, one of. I'm going to give it to him. Brian Shaw, extremely good as well. And then Wade Davis, probably a top 10 closer in the league in my opinion. Again, a lot of guys can make that argument. A lot of closers didn't do real well. I think Davis definitely can hold his own as a top 10 and closer. And I'm giving him top 10. And I'd probably say number 10 simply because of the fact that the ballpark he pitches at. And like I said, extremely hitter friendly. Extremely. So, That's just me. But really, I think that this year, I think that the Rockies should win the division. There should be no game 163. I really don't think there's going to be a reason for it. But, Dodgers like to turn around and make stuff interesting. But, who knows? Who knows? Dodgers also did just trade away Yasiel Puig, who was, in a sense, their heart and soul of that team. So, yeah, got that going for you. So, got the Rockies going right there. And like I said, I really do think that this year could be the Rockies' year to win. And then you got the always powerful Los Angeles Dodgers. Where you got Kershaw as your ace, who's questionable for opening day. But folks, can we just be realistic for a second? Kershaw's going to pitch opening day, whether his arm can be out of his socket. He can not have a right arm. Kershaw's pitching opening day. Then you got Walker Buehler, who was unbelievable last year as a rookie. Rich Hill, who, in my opinion, probably should be a 4 or 5 starter. Hyun-Jin Ryu and Ross Stripling, honestly, a very good rotation from the Dodgers, as always. That's one thing that the Dodgers always have good of, is a rotation, no matter what. And then bullpen, you got Pedro Baez, Kenta Maeda, Dylan Floro, Oni Cingrani, Julio Urias, and then you got probably top 3 closer in the league right now. Top 3 closer in Kenley Jansen, I'm going to say. And I know, again, another argumental thing, but I'm going to say, honestly, it might have been top 3 closers in the league. Kimbrel, in order. 3 is Jansen, 2 is Kimbrel, 1 is Chapman. I'm sorry, I just got to say it like that. And a lot of people will make the argument for Diaz. Honestly, I want to see how Diaz does in New York this year. That's my opinion. But nonetheless, and then for catchers, you got Austin Bourne and you got Russell Martin, who could possibly be, who. Fun fact about Russell Martin, actually, real quick. I'm actually going to veer off from that fact that Russell Martin could potentially be, your everyday starter. And he probably will. But fun fact, Russell Martin actually got his start in Los Angeles. A lot of people don't know that. He did. Then you got Cody Bellinger, Max Muncy, Justin Turner, Corey Seager's coming back, Jock Peterson, AJ Pollock, Alex Verdugo. That's going to be tough. It really is, because they just lost. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Taylor winds up playing, right field or something like that. They move Chris Taylor around. But it sucks, man. It really does. Simply because of the fact that they traded away Yasiel Puig, who, in my opinion, like I said, was probably the, I want to say the heart and soul of that team. He really was. You saw his attitude and everything, and now you see his attitude with San Francisco. I think Puig was probably one of the best teammates to probably have if you were a Dodger. And they traded him away to try and get Bryce Harper, and then Harper turns around and goes on the East Coast. So it's how did that work out for you? But I'm definitely interested to see, what happens in terms of all this and everything like that, so. Yeah. Alright, so, pretty much gonna go ahead and, do what I always do. Pretty much I'm gonna turn around, put everybody in order. This is what I'm gonna say. Hey, San Francisco moves up to 3rd. San Francisco drops that on the 2nd, San Francisco drops down to last, as always. I'm going to go with that one. And then Arizona falls to the 4th seed, but San Diego makes a move and goes up to 3. Simply because of the fact that I think that, like I said, Arizona's, their bullpen, not the best. As Colorado wins the division and Los Angeles goes in 2nd. So in other words, like I said, Colorado gets the division, Los Angeles gets 2nd and possibly one of the wild card spots. Arizona turns around, falls to 4, where San Diego jumps from 5 to 3, and then and then San Francisco takes last. So, all right, guys. So that's my projections for the NL West. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's make a deal. Turn it over to 2 songs, and then as always, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna jump right into basketball. So, Alright, guys, make sure you keep it locked here. Guys, you are listening to Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College. Got it. Now let me get some Fall Out Boy rolling. Fall Out Boy, gotta line him up. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Oh, I just switched that to auto real quick. Oh, Pat's going live at 4, so I gotta knock out my show within. Wow, that took longer than I expected. That took 40 minutes, or that took 35 minutes. Holy shit. Okay. All right, let's get these NBA things up. But there's nothing you can tell me. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, Bree? What's up, Matt? What's up, Mom? Karan. Wait, the Rutgers just lose? Oh my god, that sucks. They lost by 1 against Penn State. Oh my god, that blows. Alright, 7. Oh my god, is Loyola Chicago... Hang on, is that team from last year? What was last year's bracket? It was a 13 seed. Loyola Chicago. Oh, they're back! They're back! It is them! Shit! I was like, wait, hang on. What school was doing so well last year? I was like, wait, they upset somebody. I was like, they upset like a number 2 team or something like, or a number 3 team. Oh man, this is gonna be fun, bro. So let them up. Alright, so I gotta talk about this real quick as well. Damn, alright, that's my fault. I gotta talk about that. So I'll knock this out and basketball in the same segment. That makes sense. Oh shit, whoops. Assist. Go to assist. There we go. Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College, is back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Guys What Else here on this lovely Thursday afternoon. Guys, I just realized something, and this is where I can actually turn around and say I screwed up for once, and I'm sorry and everything like that, and I'm sorry if somebody's hurt or offended or something like that that I forgot something. But guys, I completely forgot to realize, and it's that NCAA tournament starts very soon. Boom, like literally, I would say in like what, a week, if that. Like not even, like next Tuesday, I think. Like I think the last games are, yeah, I think they're Wednesday or something. Like, do they start Monday? Like they have to start Monday, right? Like, yeah, they start Monday, I think. Hey, unless it's, unless it starts Tuesday or something. I don't know. Oh, or hang on, they already got number 1 Gonzaga. I don't know. They start just know that they start very, very soon. Ooh, all right. I completely forgot about it. I really did. They start next week during spring break. And I'm just like, wait, when does everything start? And I just realized I could check on, I could check this. So give me 2 seconds. And so it starts March 29th, it's saying, for regional. Oh, all sessions. Is apparently. Yeah, I'm just checking on Vivid Seats real quick and everything like that. So, oh yeah, but this is gonna be interesting to see and everything like that. Or no, first and second rounds. Whoops, my bad. And so okay, now it's saying March 22nd. Now I'm starting to not believe this stuff. Oh. now it's starting to be like, okay, now y'all lying. All right, here we go. Columbus, it starts. Again, it says March 22nd, but nonetheless, guys. Tournament's starting really soon. And pretty much I figured I'd turn around and just, tell you guys who's in right now as of today. Hey, pretty much give you a little bit of a bracketology. So pretty much right now or I'll just give you the 1 seeds real quick. So it's Virginia, Gonzaga, Duke, and Kentucky obviously is the 1 seeds. But one team that's actually, that's back from last year. And this is actually a team that I saw it and I was like, oh, they're here, they're there. And it's Loyola Chicago. And if you don't know who Loyola Chicago is, guys, just remember the team last year that was projected to be killed by Miami in the first round and then projected to be killed by Tennessee in the third round or in the second round. And then they beat Nevada in the third. Guys, if you don't know who I'm talking about, guys, it's Loyola Chicago. Oh, and I'm partially excited because this could be a revenge game for them, technically, because they're not facing Michigan. Michigan's in the West. Going to be over in Anaheim. But, dude, they might actually turn around, and I think March Madness starts on the 2nd. I'm just looking at that now. So if it starts on the 2nd, yeah, my bad. And nonetheless, well, no, it's like they got Michigan State, one of the Big Ten teams, or one of the biggest teams in NCAA name. So they're not. So I don't think this year Loyola Chicago is gonna have a big run or anything like that. But pretty much just gonna break it down real quick. So 9 teams from the AFC, from the ACC, 8 teams from the SEC, 8 teams from the Big Ten, 7 teams from the Big 12. American Conference has 4. Same thing with the Big East. Mountain West has 2, and Pac-12 has 2 as well. Oh, so kind of just giving you like a quick rundown as to who's in and who's out, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, I know Kansas is obviously in Syracuse. Seton Hall is going to be fighting against Clemson. That's going to be a good matchup right there. UCF against Texas. Just kind of like listing off some of the interesting games. Temple against Alabama. Question is going to be, is Alabama actually going to be doing good this year? You know, I'm just saying, man. So, definitely going to be looking on the rise for all of this stuff and everything like that. Definitely going to be looking on the rise to see how, you know, all these Division I schools and everything like that, see how they do coming forward. So, nonetheless, let's go ahead. Let's talk real quick before we wrap everything up, because I got to go real soon. Time's running up and everything like that. So, kind of just going to go ahead and talk on basketball real quick. Milwaukee clinched. Milwaukee currently has the best record in the NBA, 48-16 is the record. Same thing with the Toronto Raptors going 46-19 right now. They haven't clinched yet, but obviously if Milwaukee's just clinched and Toronto's 2.5 games back, folks, put the math together. They've clinched. All right. And right now there's 30. Oh, by the way, I don't know if y'all can tell. Oh, there are 2 teams that are out. All right, like they actually made it official. Like I probably could have told you this is next week, or I could have told you this last week. You would have believed me. Phoenix is out, and yeah, Phoenix is out, and the Knicks are out. So could have told you that at last week, and you would have believed me. But this week they kind of just confirmed it and everything like that. Like I just wanted to confirm it with you guys that they are eliminated. However, there are teams that are still in the mix and everything like that. There are still teams, obviously, you know, that aren't 35.5 games out. And, folks, don't worry, because, you know, I'm pretty sure Cleveland could be eliminated before spring break is over. Like, probably even before spring break even gets started. It's simply because of the fact that Cavs are 32.5 games out of first place. And, honestly, I really just don't see them making it. Same thing with the Bulls, so 2 more teams that could possibly be eliminated by next week. Now, I want to talk about the bottom. I guess you could say the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to say maybe 6. Actually, you can make the argument for. But I do want to talk about. Well, I want to talk about 2 things real quick. So first things first. For those of you who are following along with the NBA season, pretty much there's not that many games left. There are. Well, it's... How can I describe this? This is tough to describe. It's not over, but at the same time, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's looking thin, but it's also looking slim. Again, if that makes sense. It's at all. So, real quick, might as well just say it, man. And, this tells me how many games each team has. So, pretty much... the teams that are in and out right now, pretty much the bottom 2 are San Antonio and San Francisco, or in Los Angeles, but it's not the Lakers. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But Minnesota's just about out. Sacramento, same thing. And Los Angeles Lakers, they're the same thing. And if you want to throw the Pelicans in there, you can. But really, each of these teams, you look at it like this. San Antonio has 16 games remaining. Okay, I think San Antonio should be fine, you know, locked in. Because Popovich rarely, and I mean rarely, wants to miss the playoffs. That's just been Popovich's motto ever since day one. Okay, and probably one of the best head coaches in basketball. Same thing with Los Angeles. They got 16 games left. And then couple other teams to keep in mind. Sacramento, they have 18 games left. Los Angeles Lakers, they have 17 games left. Minnesota has 17 games left. So a lot of these teams, they're not out, but they're not in. Now, there's a reason I brought up the Western Conference. There's a reason I brought them up, and they have a certain superstar on their team, the Lakers, and that's LeBron. Now, my question for you guys is this, and this can kind of be something that, guys can think of over the next couple of weeks and everything like that, and then I'll come back to you on it when we get back from break and everything like that, but I'm going to touch on it like this. 1, does LeBron make the playoffs? 2, how does he take not making the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Because, does he go for that LeBron recruitment? Was signing with the Lakers the best idea? Is LeBron going to be okay with missing the playoffs? This is going to be my opinion. I don't think they make the playoffs. I really don't. A lot of people at the beginning of the year, they said, maybe an 8 seed, maybe a 2 seed, or maybe an 8 seed, maybe a 7 seed, and that's what they're looking at right now, but they're barely holding on to an 11th seed. Everybody turned around and they said LeBron was going to change this team and everything. There were people that even thought that they were going to make the 5 seed in the Western Conference, but unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, so... Oh, and then they signed Chandler, and they said, okay, everything's going to go turn around, flip upside down. Again, it didn't. So, my question for you guys is this. And I'll kind of give you my opinion. Does Los Angeles turn around and make big moves and see who's available this offseason? Or do they turn around and just keep the system and just let everybody develop? In my opinion, I wouldn't be... don't even be surprised if LeBron just starts recruiting and everything like that. Obviously, Durant's going to be a free agent, so who knows? Maybe LeBron can convince, Durant to come to Los Angeles with him. Could you imagine that? The 2 best players in the NBA today on the same team. Could you imagine that? At 2 former MVPs. He's in 2 former NBA champions. That would be nuts. But I think what LeBron would probably do is he'd probably have Lonzo stay, he'd have Kuzma stay, he'd have Ingram stay, because those 3 have been working. Alright? Hey, and if Lonzo hasn't been working, then I think he's just going to keep Ingram and Kuzma. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that he definitely looks to get a better center. Not saying that JaVale or Tyson are bad, I'm just saying I think that pretty much... He needs, in a sense, a better team. This is not a playoff caliber team. You look at it. Like I said, you got Lonzo. You got, Rajon Rondo. You got Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Kyle Kuzma. I don't think this is a team, you toss it in the Eastern Conference, yeah, it makes it. They make it, but if they toss it in the Western Conference, I mean, folks, it's being proven right now. Oh, they're not hanging. So I think LeBron turns around this offseason. He looks for his opportunity, if you will. Well, he looks for guys he can get, and he gets them. So that's my opinion, guys. That's what I got going on. That's what I, honestly, like I said, that's what I think is going to happen. And so, all right, guys. So that's going to go ahead. That's going to wrap it up for me. I know a little bit of a last minute kind of decision. I actually got, fun fact for you guys, I'm actually on the tennis team this year now. I'll kind of explain that later. But yeah, I'm actually on the tennis team now, and I got practice at 7. So now it's kind of going to be a case of, I'm going to be adjusting my shows accordingly. But like I said, as always, guys, I will be updating you guys and everything like that. And I'm kind of going to state an obvious: no show next week. No show next week. Obviously, if you guys don't know, I'm transferring shoot. I'm transferring schools. That's why I'm not going to have the show next week. Okay, now, joking aside, if you guys don't know why I am not going to have a show next week, it's simply because of the fact that it's spring break. And I'm not driving. And no offense, I love you guys. I really do. But I'm not driving 2 hours to do a show. I love you guys. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah. All right, guys. So, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, I always do appreciate it, guys. Always support support the support really. I always appreciate it. So guys, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, I do appreciate it. And guys, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I hope everybody has a great break. I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. And guys, God bless you, and I love y'all. Oh, have a great rest of the day, guys. Later. Woo! That's how we wrap it up, folks. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. As always, do appreciate it, guys. I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks, all right? Hey, I got to get Pat in here, so later, guys.